me.
Okay, will we? Sorry about that clicking.
I don't think there's any real. I don't think there's any real people watching. Right, off you go.
Right, let's get started. Hello, right, welcome. This is our first live stream previous to our auction on the 27th of February. This is the excess of the surplus assets from the relocation of BT Sport, and there's a number of additional lots coming in and still coming in and entered from other vendors, resellers, support companies and the like. So so this is really we're doing this a little bit of an opportunity to say, actually, you need to come and see the equipment. I'll happily go through some of the highlights. We're here, we might as well. But you know, we've got this facility here in Marlborough. You can come along, you can view the equipment, test the equipment. You tell us up front what you want to see, and we'll have it ready for you. So we have added some kit overnight. There'll be some Blackmagic Design micro cinema cameras. There's GoPros, some monitors from Small HD, ARRI, Trans Video. If you see me dropping my eye line, that's because I have got some notes. I do need them. And there's a nice pole cam coming up and a steady cam Zephyr. Needs a bit of work on the power output. Just a bit of a soldering iron, it'll be working fine. And PAG battery kits, need to check them out when they are live tomorrow. I believe, again, you need to check it out with the manufacturer, but I believe this model, you can resell them. So from a sustainability point of view, you don't get rid of the whole unit when they fail, you put new cells in. Tripods, loads of media cards. So that's all coming up overnight, and hopefully they'll all be ready for you to see in the morning. From another vendor, these are live on the auction at the moment. Some photographs to be updated. We've got a MVS 8000, a 3ME and a 4ME. Lots of hyperdecks, again, a lot of monitors, various sizes, bigger monitors generally. XD-cam camcorders, I think they are PMW 300s. And some interesting, for a Cower, I think is the model, the make, the fibre check kits. I mean, these kits are, you know, very useful if you're in the OB world, if you're on location. £3,000 each to get one. Very useful kits, flight cased, worth a look at. So keep an eye on your calendars. 27th of February. That's next week. You know, it's not far away. We're starting at 11 a.m. But we would like to see you down here if you're thinking of bidding before then. We have had a couple of requests ahead, so we'll get to them in a minute. But first of all, let's have a little wander, because you know we have got you know some highlights that's worth showing. I tell you what, while we're over here, let's first of all look down here at the Harmonic media grid. Now, you know, I think this was the large organisation attempt to get into sort of a budget. I say budget, none of it's budget because it's all quite pricey, but large storage for post-production. There's a lot of servers. Each of those are 4 terabytes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those with the content server and the content bridge. So actually, quite a nice little setup in its entirety. They are all available as individual items because they can be used individually. Whilst we're here, here's some of the items that have just gone live. Crozier Map Box, always popular, and some Trans Video wireless, the Titan HDs. So there's a double and a single kit. Obviously, the stars of the show we're looking at here, the Colorec Artemis control surfaces. You know, industry standard, isn't it? Reliability, 40 faders. There's 3 systems in total, 2 lights and 1 beam. The lights will set you back about 118k, 120k, something like that. The beam probably in the region of 170, 180k. And we also have a 4th system which doesn't have any DSP cards, which acts as a kind of central server point, if you like, a central point for the for your Hydra 2 network, shall we say. So all the I/O boxes, these 3 consoles and cores would have connected up to this, and it would have served the network, so to speak. But that's available in its own right. Very good. Racks, pallets and pallets of single rack units, and as a nice MVS 3000 standard, industry standard, HD, 2ME, I think it is, vision mixer, and all came out of a working environment. Remember that. There's a lot of There is a lot of PCs that will be out of date, but the reason we encourage you to come down and see the equipment is because on these PCs, a lot of them will or may have licenses for equipment that you know, for tools that will be very useful and that might support you in projects you've already got. Now we have an interesting couple of racks. Now, yes, they are, you know, they're not this year's model, but this is almost in its entirety EVS. There is IP directors. We've got application servers, IP director, synapse. So that's obviously got some cards in it. We can have a look in a moment. DB server, there's X-Hub 3 somewhere. He's looking at some Sony control panels up there at the moment. And then well, actually, while we're here, we might as well look, a whole stack of Juniper Networks switches. Again, very popular in the broadcast industry. It's reliability, configurability, security. And then we might as well move on this way to the EVS XS. So, not being a real EVS expert, I would say these are more for the transmission side of broadcast servers rather than the sports replay side of broadcast servers. There's a lot of commonality with parts between these and XTs, XT3 I think. I mean, they look brand new, but that could be, it probably is, because they go in a rack and they stay put. We've opened the door on that already. Have a little look inside. So again, we would encourage you to come along. We'll try and have a look in a moment to see how populated they are, whether they are complete. Leave it to you to decide if they're complete, full of cards. We're unable to detect that. This is a cool little box. So these little controllers are, these connect up to your LSM controllers, and they kind of act as a browser-based interface to all of the clips on your broadcast server. So I don't think they were massively popular. You don't see a lot of them, but it's a nice, very nice, very cool little little addition. It connects to your LSM panel via a switch, and it just provides a sort of graphical overview of the clips in your online storage. So great in your live OB environments. Good piece of kit, and what, 8 of those. Put it back neat and tidy. Shall I do that in a minute? There's some SMPTE cable in here, 2 SMPTE cables. I don't know what length, we haven't measured it out, we're unlikely to. A further stock of cable, so video cable, audio cable. There is an enormous amount of triacs, various gauges. You know, that is going to be great value. Finish off the cable, some more Cat6, some audio cable, speaker cable, and again, an enormous amount of mains. So again, we don't have the capacity necessarily to open each box and show you, but we would strongly encourage you pop along and you know, have a word, have a look and see for yourself what's included. Again, it comes to the teleprompters. While we're at this end of the rack, these teleprompters, I can't guarantee that it is 100% complete, but there is a lot of spares here, is probably the best way to describe it. Hoods, all the glass is intact. It seems to be. It was when we last looked and when we lotted them. And so, if you're running this kind of system, there's some great spares there. Again, I don't want to, I'm encouraging you to come down again. You've got a week before you come down, before the auction, to come down and see what's in the Axon frames. you know, they are full of cards. Some of them are 4K, GDL 200, GSU 100, 4 cards. They're actually quite modern, well-stocked frames. And just the frame's a couple of grand, isn't it? There you go. Oh, quickly back. There's the back to the EVS. There's some controllers, some remote controllers. One of them does have a little glitch on the matrix screen. I don't think it would interfere with operation too much. Again, unable to test. We can't test these fully. Where we do test is we will sometimes just switch it on to make sure there's somebody home. Actually, there's an interesting lot here. Again, if you're running a Shotoku robotic camera system, 3 heads, I think there's 4 heads actually in total, with controllers, with lots of cables, which we can only assume, again, please confirm in person, we can only assume is enough cable to get it going. Some Riedel spares, 360 systems, probably a little bit dated. The shortcut, do you know, I actually genuinely can't remember what they do. Lots of Genelec speakers and subs, 4 big subs, lots of pairs and a couple of singles of the smaller studio monitors, and a couple of pairs of the slightly larger studio monitors. Take of them as you will. Here we go. And then there's got to be a market for these, Fujifilm. So 3D lookup table, color transform from HDSDI, video device and monitor calibration. So there's a lot of these, and you know, they're not new. They've been sold and been in place, but seemingly they're all in their original packaging, untouched. Again, come down and see for yourself. But they should be as they were delivered. Now, I'm going to ask Simon to do a U-turn. Arista. Some 7500 series sort of data center level switches here. Now, I mean, unpopulated, the frame again is what, you know, yeah, a couple of grand on the used market. The look, populated, there's a, you know, this is a serious piece of kit, and there's 2 of them. There's a front and a rear, you can see here. Important to say at this stage, to mention shipping. This is the kind of item that would, you know, well, if I look on the side, it's weighted at 182 kilograms. So please bear in mind that while we do our best to help people with shipping, we don't offer a shipping as a service. Collections, you need to consider how you're going to get these things collected and how you're going to ship them. There you're seeing a spare Kahuna panel. It is just the panel. We don't have the mainframe. JVC monitor. And there we have it. So, actually, what we have been asked to have a closer look at is, funnily enough, the XS, to have a look at what cards are inside. So I am going to go and have a look at what cards are inside each of the units. So you're seeing it a bit rough and ready now. You have to see us pull it out on a pump truck. As we only just got the request a moment ago, I will put that away. So I'll go and get the pump truck and get it so we can have a look. So excuse the noise, everybody. But it's got to be done if we're going to get it out. important to point out that I have done the course and I do know what I'm doing. I've got a certificate and everything. Not that it shows. So, these are badly designed, but they do work. Right, so inside here, it looks like we've got a spare. All the cables seem to be connected, but whether that's, there seems to be a slot free, but otherwise H3X CPU, A3X, V3X, V3X, and MTPC. So again, I will repeat, I am not going to say that I'm an expert in the EVS XS, but who's to say that that isn't going to work? Let's go to the next one, see if I can get this one open. So this appears to be the same. It's missing the same board. It's got a slightly different configuration of drives up top. H3X. And there's no number on the one card, audio card, there you go, V3X, V3X. So it seems to be a very similar configuration. Am I going to get into this one? Eventually I will. So that's a closer match to the first one, to these top two units. So that's 144 and 143. Seem to be very similar units, similar generation, and similar configuration, hardware-wise. And last but no means least, is he going to get in there? Yes. Okay, so I would suggest there's a board missing here. And there's a lack of drives at the top. So this, it almost looks like this was, or it probably was, a spare unit. So, and that's lot 146. So if we go round the other side, so there's a clear difference in the rear panels as well. Now, whether these are, I'm not going to say what each of them does. You'll make that up for yourself. So you've just looked at lot 143. The one below you're looking at there is 146. That's probably the spares unit. Lot 144 at the top there, and lot 145 below it. So hopefully that's given that individual a bit of an insight into those lots, and there'll be some comments, I'm sure, coming in if we need to do more with those. Let's pop them away so that we don't fall over. So the other comment that's been that's come in is to have a closer look at the contents of the Artemis modular I/O boxes. So they are. I will get all of them out. So again, so these there are what we are selling with each Artemis is a surface, a core, and that's it, and a floor stand. All three surfaces have a stand and a core. Two of them are lights, one of them is a beam. All of them have been tested to the point of they power up. The cards settle on a state that a colour engineer would be happy with. So let me get the right terminology here. I think it's called MA, module available. So they all boot up into a status that can be worked on. Of course, you know, whoever is interested in the CarRec Artemis, they're going to get a CarRec support contract and get them working anyway. But as for the I/O boxes, they are, you know, they're in addition to the, you know, they're separate to the panels. So in here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dante cards, 8 Dante cards. No, that's not a Dante card. That's an H2 interface. So I would imagine that that's some kind of controller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dante cards on that modular I/O, and that is lot 58. We have on 57, pretty much identical lot. This certainly looks like more an analog I/O, which it certainly is. Mics. So these D subs probably had a breakouts to other. You'll know. If you know, we've got to assume to a certain degree that if you're looking at this, you know what you're buying. But yeah, and then digital AES breakouts here. So that's lot 56. A similar setup, if not identical, actually just upside down. Perhaps a couple of missing different boards on 55. Mics, AES and analog on D subs, and some SDI IOs there. Similar on lot 54, and then a real on lot 53. There's a real combination. I can't see from here, but it looks like we've got Dante, we've got Maddie, and we've got analog. Have a look on the photographs. Comment if you need to know more. And then on the other side, we're not going to get them all out because they are all pretty much identical. Here are the Maddie cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Maddie cards inside 4 frames. There's 4 of these, each of them with 8 cards. So all of these should and could be supported by CarRec. If you get them, they'll help you get it set up. I'll come and install it for you, I'm sure. There are some spares and bits and bobs that's detailed in the lots, and this is the state at which we will load up the panels to say yes, they work. Yeah, there's life. The PC is working inside. It's important to say that they actually, out of the factory, they would supply a 4x3 Ayama touchscreen monitor, which hasn't been made available to us. So you do need to find that. It's a minor cost, yeah, they're readily available, and that'll just mean you've got full control. Yeah, so that's a rundown. There are some extra bits. There are items that are going to be added. I'm just going to go and make sure that there's no other additional comments on today's well, we've got someone who used to support the kit. Can't you just buy some? 416s you have, and the QNAP units. So the QNAP units, let's go and have a look. Right, these are particularly heavy. So actually, I'm going to struggle to get them all out. I'll tell you what, if you look at that, Simon, keep an eye on that, I will get the QNAPs out and So we're only going to bring them out a bit because we can't get in enough. But there is
If you read the
a
comment,
selection
read the
of.
comment again, I think there's more to the comment.
We have. There's more information on the comment. Don't hurt yourselves. They do have drives. They do have drive holders. So we're not going to hurt ourselves. Not live. But yeah, they all mostly appear to be complete. So no problem. So great. Look, the message has to be, please do come down and do shout quickly if you want me to look at more of those QNAPs. But yeah, just bear in mind that we're going. You've got a week now to get down here. You should be visiting auctions.kitplus.com or kitplusauctions.com, but auctions.kitplus.com to see the live auction and to register and bid now. I can't stress enough how much we want people to actually come and have a look if you're interested. But yeah, get involved. It's live now. You can bid now. Do bear in mind that you are bidding to win. You're not bidding to come and have a look. Come and have a look now beforehand, and make sure that all the descriptions are accurate and you're happy with the descriptions. It's very important because you are bidding to win. You're bidding to buy the item. So also the other thing to stress for certainly the overseas guys here, please make sure that you are bidding for the stuff that you know how to collect and can get home. We've got another one. Well, one last thing, Sennheiser SK600. Right, there isn't any pics on the SK600, 6000s. We are waiting for the images to come from that vendor. Those items aren't here yet. Those lots are not present. They're coming, I think, Monday. So if you wanted to view them in person, then please come then. What I'll do, if you wouldn't mind sending us an email to contact@kitplusauctions.com about the images on those Sennheiser microphone systems, wireless microphone systems. When it's live, when we have the detail from the vendor, we'll make sure that we send you the information and we tell you that it's live. But there will be images. Anything that doesn't have an image, I'd like to say that I don't think we'd let it go to the final day. So we'd have to remove the item because you've got to see what it looks like. So yeah, you're bidding to win. Make sure you can ship it. Make sure you know when you're coming to collect. Again, look, all we're trying to do here is encourage you to come and view the items and make sure you know what you're bidding on. Thanks, everybody. See you on auction day, 27th of February. Bid now.